The African Cassava Agronomy Initiative was recently launched in Nigeria with plans to improve the livelihoods and incomes of cassava farmers in Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, Uganda and DR Congo by researching and tapping into and implementing best bet agronomic practices. The project, which is led by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture with funding support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, will specifically improve cassava yields, cassava root quality, cassava supply to the processing sector, and fertilizer sales, thereby engaging over 100,000 households in Nigeria and Tanzania, and facilitating the engagement of at least 30% women farmers.
What is going to make this project different is the fact that the research will start from the end user, will start from the farmers. Not doing the research for the sake of it, but addressing the questions that farmer will raise, then going back and then design the tools and the knowledge and then to bring the information back to the farmers. So, and again, one project alone cannot solve all the problems. So I believe that this project will be part and parcel of the whole cassava value chain the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is trying to promote. So when there's a market, the farmer will be able to ask for the information, will use that information to be able to produce. Because what is the point of farmers producing if there's no market? So therefore, we should look at this project not as stand-alone project, but a continuum interventions in the cassava value chains, from the end user to the market, then to the producer, and then to the knowledge. Because everything is about knowledge. If you don't know that making this, using this tool, so you'll be there using the same tools that your great-grandfather has been using. And you can, using those tools that your great-grandfather have used, what do you expect? You expect this, you'll get the same thing.
The African Cassava Agronomy Initiative is placed within the context of intensification of cassava-based systems, with a focus on the development of cassava agronomy recommendations to improve the productivity and quality of cassava roots in Nigeria, Tanzania, Ghana, and Uganda, major cassava-producing countries in West and East Africa, and some spillover into East DR Congo. The project will be in phases, starting in Nigeria and Tanzania in years 1 and 2, and expand to the other countries from year 3 onwards.
The agronomic practice of it will help us also to improve the quality of the cassava flowers that will be coming out of this cassava. Then most of our farmers use, like in the usage of fertilizer, majority of them use blanket fertilizer recommendation. But this project now, I believe by the time they are going on it, it will be able to specify the quantity and the type of fertilizer that our farmers will use for cassava production. And this may help also in their production cost. So 4 things, the way the yield, the quality, and then the production cost, it will help.
The African Cassava Agronomy Project will harness Africa and international expertise and follow a demand-driven approach whereby its interventions are responding to specific agronomy-related needs by partners already actively engaged in cassava dissemination and value chain activities in target countries.
There's a very high potential in Nigeria, first of all because the environment, the enabling environment is good. Cassava, I lived in Nigeria 15 years ago, and in those days you don't hear anything about cassava. People grow cassava to eat. Today, cassava is becoming a commercial crop. Government is investing in processing facilities, private sector is doing that. So cassava is becoming commercial. But for cassava to be competitive with other crops, you need more yield. Your productivity needs to increase. And this is what we are trying to do. Unless you have like 20, 25, even 30 tons per hectare, cassava will not easily compete with other crops.
Dr. Bernard Vanlauwe has spent 25 years working in Africa. He's willing to contribute to the changes in the agricultural productivity that he believes will come on the continent, although he's mindful of the challenges ahead.
Improved productivity means people having access to markets and making money from that. So there's issues of transport, issues of supply, issues of... I said we work with those partners who are investing in that, but they also have their own challenges. It's not a perfect world we are living in. So this is one thing. The second thing is, it's good to promote, for instance, fertilizer. But you need to have the right fertilizer in place. It's good to say you need this and this, but if it's not available, you're again wasting everyone's time. So now we are working here with the Notori fertilizer company who said they are interested in providing improved blends if there is some market for it. So you know, as I said, the big challenges are all those pieces of the puzzle in place. We have tried to work with partners and make that happen, but there's always a number of pieces that you will need to probably still add or look for, or yeah.
But then are you hopeful?
Absolutely. I've been working on this continent for 25 years. Yeah? I've never been more hopeful than now.
The vision of success of the African Cassava Agronomy Initiative is to deliver the necessary knowledge base and tools for accessing the knowledge to cassava scaling partners and ultimately farmers in the target countries, while instituting the necessary capacity and skills for national system scientists to engage in transformative cassava agronomy. But the success of this initiative will be proven if farmers like Mama Sifawu would benefit from knowledge transfer its coordinators are promising.
These are the typical kind of yields that farmers in Africa, they get from cassava farm. And the reason is because they don't know how to manage their farms properly. There is a gap in terms of the best management practices. Most of them don't know. Take, for instance, weed control. A farmer in Africa cannot expand except he or she is able to control weeds. So, weed alone can compete with this cassava and make it to emanciate to this point. And therefore, no matter the breeding that you are able to achieve, you won't get anything bigger than this if the other factors are not taken care of. And that is why the Archive project is coming at a right time to see how it can address the constraints that resource-poor farmers are facing on the field, so that cassava in Africa, the yield can be multiplied even up to 10 times. And except that happens, African farmers will not be competitive until we are able to raise the productivity to 30 tons per hectare, for instance. That is when cassava can actually become an income earner for African farmers. So we are very happy to be on the field to see what is happening on the field, and also to marry it with the research and see how we can transfer the knowledge that scientists have generated to these farmers in order for them to increase their productivity.
It is envisaged that through institutionalization of innovative approaches for problem solving, the initiative will build the capacity of national partners to sustain the technology development pipeline, deliver continuous improvements in cassava agronomy technologies, as well as address new constraints. Well, what we found out is that there is the solution to stop the poor yield by farmers, but the gap between the solution providers, who are the researchers, and the farmers are so wide. Bridging this gap must happen as soon as possible for the country to turn around its low productivity level. On that, we end today's program. Please don't forget, you can view this episode and other episodes of the program by visiting our YouTube channel, youtube.com/channelsweb. Click the playlist menu and then click File. You can also reach us by writing to file@channelstv.com. We will see you next week. Bye for now.